On this week's episode of Roundabout U, the Bard is back in town for the annual Shakespeare Fest.
We will learn the art of stage combat and attend a flash mob Shakespeare style.
We'll also enjoy an evening with CNBC Contributor Michael Farr.
And finally, Murray State President Dr. Bob Davies tells us how to be racer proud.
I'm Brianna Sill.
And I'm Tiara Reese. Welcome to Roundabout U. Have you ever gone to a play that featured fighting on stage and wondered how the actors don't get hurt?
Well, that's because they have extensive training in stage combat fighting. As part of the Shakespeare Festival, students learned how to take a hit without getting a bruise.
This is the fight workshop that we hold annually as part of the Murray Shakespeare Festival. So the trained actors from the American Shakespeare Center are going to lead our students through some exercises about how to learn how to fight on stage, how to fight with your hands, how to fight with weapons, and to do it in a safe way, but still an exciting way, in a way that seems natural from the audience anyway.
Two professional stage combat actors help teach a group of about 15 students how to fight safely, using techniques that they have also taught in previous years.
Well, let's see, last year they learned how to take a fall, how to fake a punch so that it sounded really good, how to hold someone by the neck so that they're not actually getting hurt.
One student in attendance used this opportunity to build off the knowledge she gains in the stage combat course taught at Murray State.
I'm just really interested in stage combat. I'm in the stage combat class in the theater department, and I've gone to a workshop or two, and I just think it's really neat, and I really like Shakespeare, and I'd like to see how it translates to Shakespearean times and how it's used that way.
One thing she hoped to learn specifically in the class was how to incorporate Shakespearean language into her fight scenes.
One of the big issues is fighting while also using the language of Shakespeare, so how the language and how reactions just go together with that.
Rusty Jones said for students like Pape who are aspiring performers, stage combat is an important skill to learn and perfect.
How to do something on stage that's very physical but also looks really good. Many of the students who are working with them are aspiring actors who want to learn how to do this professionally. And to do it night after night so that you can make it look good for the audience and yet trust your fellow actor that they're not going to hurt you. It's just a great skill to learn.
This is just one of the events that takes place at Murray State during the Shakespeare Festival. It is not only a student favorite, but also a favorite of Rusty's.
It's definitely one of my favorite events. We've had it every year for the last 15 years that they've been here, and it's always well attended and everybody enjoys it.
Students in local schools participate in the Shakespeare Festival each year. From attending performances at Murray State's Lovett Auditorium to sitting in on guest lectures from Murray State faculty, the students are able to learn more about William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare's work is a challenging read for anyone. Murray State's plan is to expose certain Shakespeare plays to students at a young age. The theory is that the more time a student has to learn and develop skills to understand a complex text, the better suited they will be to interpret other complex texts.
No matter what you have to say about the humanities, reading complex texts is what every person in every profession needs to be able to do. Let's start with Shakespeare and have fun with it, and then when it's a complex engineering manual or it's a legal case, we'll have the skills to break down that language and understand it well.
Dr. Cobb takes the scary connotation attached to Shakespeare away through her seminars. She brings the story to life and humanizes the characters by getting students to perform the plays. She provides a fun, interactive way of preparing students, not only for the Shakespeare seminar, but also for high school, exposing them to Julius Caesar even before that curriculum is introduced in high school.
Oh yeah, Dr. Cobb brings it to life, and our kids, these kids have been exposed to Shakespeare for years and years and years because she starts coming when they're third graders, fourth graders, and does little projects with them. So Shakespeare isn't scary to them and not something that they don't understand. A lot of people say, I don't understand that language, and she breaks it down to, just the basic lexiles and the human element, and just getting them up out of their seats is a lot of fun.
The students are utilizing and developing skills needed to decipher complex texts without even realizing it. The collaboration of students and fun involved in performing the plays makes it a much more enjoyable and relatable learning experience.
I love to see all my students engaged. You saw every student, they get up and they get to perform. Some of them really shine. It's their, it's their gift to be able, and other kids come out of their comfort zone and try things that they might not try. It takes something like Julius Caesar and breaks it down so that it's easily understandable. So when they go see the play next week, they'll be like, oh, I did that scene in school. I know that. So then they feel more confident and they feel a part of it and feel like the human element of it.
Dr. Cobb's seminars got students just excited to watch the plays at the Shakespeare Festival as they were to perform them themselves.
And we ran scenes from Julius Caesar and A Midsummer Night's Dream, and that helped us prepare so we can better understand this play going in the future.
She was really energetic with it, and we had props and stuff, so it was really fun.
It's really fun. They interact with the audience so well, and it's hilarious.
Though it may not be the university's job to teach middle and high school students, Murray State employees enjoy going above and beyond their job titles.
It is our place, it's the university's place to educate everyone in our society. It's the university's place to spread learning and the love of learning. And that's one of the things we do with the Shakespeare units is spread that love of learning.
Murray State's theater students were so excited to celebrate Shakespeare that some of them embarked on the fabled Shakespeare Chili Pepper Challenge, followed by reciting some of Shakespeare's most fiery monologues. Theater students gathered in the Curry Center rocking chair lounge to cause a commotion. A good commotion, though. They started by pulling students out from the audience to kill Caesar with different weapons like silly string, party poppers, and even squeaky dog toys. They even got Murray State President Bob Davies in on the action. But the real show was what happened after they killed Caesar. Theater students voluntarily ate peppers of different levels, from habanero to yellow peppers. 2 students even ate ghost peppers, which at between 855,000 to 1,041,000 and 427 on the Scoville heat scale is ranked number 7 in the world's hottest peppers.
I mean, it may sound a little silly, but I'd do anything for the theater.
Students were more than happy to endure the pain, and some even thought it might have improved their performance.
I don't eat spicy food. I don't like spicy food. So I went for a pepper that was rated 5 out of 1 from 10. And I couldn't stop the shaking at the end of it. Like I was just like, I'm a wimp. I'm totally a wimp. But it was so worth it because I literally do not think I have ever done that speech better before. And I love Lady Macbeth. She is a dream role.
The Chili Pepper Challenge replaced last year's Shakespeare insult event and was just as wonderful to watch.
We're trying not to torture students every year if we can, but we have, what we're trying to do is to vary it up each year so that we get a chance to, last year we had Shakespearean insults, this year we have Shakespeare Chili Peppers. Next year, when it's Romeo and Juliet, who knows what we'll do? Who knows what we'll do? But we try to do it so that students know about the festival, they know about the performances, they get invested, they get excited for the coming week. It's a lot of fun.
This year's event was a great hit, and watching students suffer for Shakespeare was entertaining for everyone. Luckily, they had plenty of milk on hand for the volunteers.
Who knew language could be so much fun? Murray State hosted the annual Language Festival for regional language students. The event gave students opportunities to showcase their linguistic skills in a competitive and recreational manner. The showcase also assists in expanding cultural awareness.
Students filtered through the 3rd floor of the Curry Center to partake in many cultural events at Murray State's Language Festival. As they passed from booth to booth, they were assisted in gaining understanding of many different cultures.
I think it's a great opportunity for students who are learning about languages and cultures to have an opportunity to come together and to meet students from other schools, to be on the university campus and have the university level language students interacting with them. It's an opportunity for them to show off their developing language and cultural skills.
Being a student in the United States, it is easy to forget that the way we live here is much different than other places around the world. The festival helps underline the significance of understanding other cultures.
I think it's important to be aware of other people and to be able to understand other people. Without understanding, it's very difficult to sympathize, to empathize with other people in other situations. We are in a country with a lot of amazing privileges. We were lucky to be born here. If we can be familiar with other places that were as privileged or less privileged, that's a good thing for all involved, I think.
I think that in our world today, we're so interconnected with other countries that it's really important that we know another language so that we understand how another culture works and how other people think about, the world themselves. So I think that knowing another language allows so many more connections between different people, and I think that's a really great thing.
The festival took intense preparation and a great deal of effort from those who set out to piece the event together. After seeing the wheels set in motion, those who were behind the scenes of the event were excited to see their hard work paying off.
Personally, it is seeing students who are excited and motivated about speaking other languages and learning about other cultures and encouraging them in that.
Students from the area also appreciated the effort that went into making the festival a special event.
I really like getting to see all the people, all the hard work that goes into the projects, and it's really cool to see all the schools come together and kind of present their ideas.
The festival highlighted many students from the area, and for some it was quite a treat to see the excitement from the students in attendance.
It's also enjoyable to see the cycle of we've graduated students who are now teachers. They're bringing their students here, sort of a circle of life scenario. That's just nice, really positive.
The hope surrounding the event is that students will leave feeling inspired to continue their study of different languages and cultures.
Murray State University is proud of the positive environment on campus between its university community, faculty, staff, and students. Racer Proud pins are given to faculty and staff who go above and beyond to help students succeed. Murray State University President Dr. Bob Davies helped start the program here at Murray State, and he is in the studio with us today. President Davies, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Bran. I'm very glad to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Racer Proud program?
This idea kind of grew out of several discussions I've had with faculty and staff. But what started it was that there is, when you think about Murray State, when you ask people to describe Murray State, what are some of the adjectives and what are some of the descriptors that they will have? And at every single level, at the top, it's being student-centered and doing things for our students. And so as we kind of talked about that, many individuals said, we do this on a day-to-day basis. It would be fun or good to acknowledge those individuals on the spot who are doing something that is for the student and something that goes above and beyond. And so we started this, talking about different ideas and whatnot, and so we came up with a fairly inexpensive way to acknowledge individuals who go above and beyond and help the students, and that's the Racer Proud pin. It is a simple pin. It's simple in design, but distinctive enough that really hopefully will catch on, and as individuals go out and do great things, they'll have 1, 2, 3, or multiple pins. And then the idea, too, is as they see individuals do good things for students and for the university, for them to pass on that pin. So we bought a modest amount, $2,500 or thereabouts, just to start the program and to see it grow. It's been fun to watch these pins go across the campus. I awarded one of the first ones to the transportation team. A student had a flat tire up in the parking lot and was desperate to get someplace, and she couldn't change it. She didn't have the right wrench and everything else. And so the transportation team went up there and helped her change the tire and got her going, and we gave them a pin for that. They, in turn, gave the pin to an individual who was transporting international students back and forth between the Nashville Airport and Murray State. And one of the things that, because of liability, we can't take parents. And so what he did is he brought the students back, got in his own car, went and picked the parents up, and then brought them back. And so he got a pin, and then he awarded to another individual, and that pin has gone on to many different iterations. So again, it's just about a way for our community, our faculty and staff, to acknowledge their colleagues when they do something pretty special for a student. And I've also noticed, too, that sometimes it's gone to some community members who have done things for our students as well, and they, too, have been passing it around. So again, it's just an opportunity for us to acknowledge who we are, being very student-centered, and in an external way, motivate individuals and thank them for doing great work.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a real morale booster.
Yeah, it's a morale booster, as you said, and again, to acknowledge individuals for doing the great work that they always do.
What other instances can someone do to get a pen that hasn't already been done?
Well, they could do all sorts of fun things. I know a pen was given out to a BST who went out of his way to shovel sidewalks for some students who were in a snowstorm, and they were in scooters and were disabled, so they went out of his way to do that. A faculty member received one for staying after and talking to a student on a Saturday afternoon. Another colleague saw him do that, and this faculty member came in, and so that was another example. A faculty member took two students out to lunch, and one of our colleagues saw him and gave him a pen for that. So there's all sorts of different types of things. We purposely didn't say it's got to be this, that, or the other. It is those genuine, more often than not, spontaneous acts of doing something for a student. And I also have to say, we started off with the student side, but we've also seen staff give it to other staff members for helping them out, and faculty to other faculty, or faculty to staff, or whoever the case may be. Again, just helping people, those spontaneous acts of kindness.
So can it be reversed? Can a student give it to a faculty member?
Absolutely, and we've seen that. We've seen students. I've had a couple students come up to me every once in a while and ask, "Hey, can I give a pen? This faculty member just gave me a great idea on a research topic, and I just want to give them to say thank you." And sure, absolutely, we give those pens out. The idea is not to hoard those pens. The idea is to give them out to as many people as possible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Brianna. I really appreciate all that you do. And of course, we gave you a eraser pen for all the things that you do in helping students through the Roundup and informing students and keeping them engaged. So again, thank you very much. And I hope you wear that pen with pride. But as you see a faculty member, as you see a staff member, or you see a fellow student do a random act of kindness, make sure you give it to them as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Focusing on the positive is never an easy task, especially when it comes to money. Murray State students were given a unique insight into our economy and what it means in the nation's capital. Many students often worry about the repeat of a challenging past when it comes to the economy. Farr gave advice and intuition to a filled room at the Curris Center Stables on why Murray State students should not be worried.
Anybody who's worried about our economy ought to come to Murray State. They ought to come to a university. They ought to come to a college. They ought to see the hope and the intellect, the bright, I think, views and desires for the future and tomorrow among the young people on these campuses, and you won't worry about recession.
Farr explained how he sees the stock market trying to adjust to three major events. He brought up these points as the main concerns of people: money spent in the market, consumerism, and oil with the economics behind it.
We are now dealing with a world without the Federal Reserve as a backup. The Fed has put a lot of money into the economy. That money's gone into banks. That money's gone into the Fed's balance sheet. We've seen a lot of deficit and debt spending. We've seen the debt really explode. $18 trillion now in the U.S. $4.5 trillion is on the Fed's balance sheet, separate and distinct, all to generate about 2% GDP.
Farr put students' mind at ease by stating what all is going good with the U.S. economy, but also educated them on what needs to be worked on. His insight was an eye-opener to the business or related major students that attended.
We've been dealing with a world economically that had been relying on a voracious Chinese consumer. China is slowing, so that big demand for concrete and for steel and for oil has gone away. It's a great economics 101 class lesson. Stuff got to be $100 and some odd a barrel. They started drilling more for it, they produced more of it, and supply started to answer the demand. Well, it overshot demand, and now we are awash in oil. One of the largest problems oil producers are facing today is where to store the stuff. Basically, things aren't all that bad. We've been adding 200,000 jobs a month. That's a good thing. Energy prices are lower. That's a good thing. Interest rates are low. That's a good thing. We have some problems and headwinds ahead of us. There is a huge concentration of wealth in the world and in this country. That's not a political or social statement, but what it means is that we don't have a lot of money in a lot of hands. We have a lot of money in very few hands.
Farr was not always a financial analyst. After graduating from the University of the South CONE, he once worked as an 11th and 12th grade English teacher. ran a dormitory, and coached baseball. He always enjoyed helping people and saw a specific need to relieve financial stress.
People I found were very scared about their money, and so I decided I was going to learn about it. I was going to learn about it for me, but I was going to learn about it to help other people. And I've been doing that for 30 years. I started my own company 20 years ago. I'm now the longest serving contributor for CNBC television in the world, and I get to reach a lot of people. So it's an enormous responsibility, but it's a great privilege, and it's a great privilege to be here at Murray State tonight. This is terrific. I'm so thrilled and honored to have been invited.
After changing career paths a couple times to becoming the longest serving contributor for CNBC television in the world, Farr created his own business 20 years ago and has been in this field of work for 30 years now.
Never believe anybody who tells you you can't do anything. You can absolutely do anything. Even if nobody's done it before, you can figure out a way. You need a start. It's not going to be the perfect start, but take a start and start forging your way down that path of life towards your career. A lot of people change their career, their first jobs a couple times, 3 times, 4 times. But you're going to find the right place. You keep making choices that are better suited to you and the things that are important to you. If you find that combination in a career of things that are suited to you and that are important to you, the sky's the limit. It's a great privilege to be here at Murray State tonight. This is terrific. I'm so thrilled and honored to have been invited. And Dr. Brian Clardy was telling me about it. He said, "You've got to come to Murray State." I'm so glad I did. This is a great place.
Michael Farr enjoyed his time at our campus, almost as much as we enjoyed him being here.
As we leave you today, we take you to the studios of WKMS 91.3 FM for a live lunch performance.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at roundaboutu.com.
Or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Brianna Sill.
And I'm Tiara Reese. Thanks for watching Roundabout U.
That are very like-minded in those kind of settings. So
cool. What are you going to play for us next?
This next song we're going to play is called All I Need.
When will my soul rest? When will I see your face? I'm tired of watching and waiting up. Will I hear your voice? Teach me to trust you, even when I cannot see. Give me unsettling faith. Reach down and tell me you love me like I used to know. My memory fails me. Take my heart and all of me. You are all I need. Down
You're listening to Vaughn Straunce on Live Lunch,